Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a part of the concert today. I know we're coming to you pre-recorded here, but it's a real pleasure to get the opportunity to play some music for an audience of you guys online, joining us from wherever you are. So we appreciate your time, and my name is Gregory DeAngelis. I'm a trombonist here on Long Island. I am joined today in my trio by my drummer, Michael Shapira, and my bassist, Keenan Paul Zach. And we're going to try today to cover a lot of sort of the history of jazz through music. So the whole point of today is to kind of start early on in jazz's history. So we're talking, 100 plus years ago now, about a century's worth of music to cover. And the way we're going to do this is we're just going to try to work through eras, through time periods, a little bit chronologically. And the goal is to play some songs that I know you guys know, really popular jazz songs, and mix those in with some stuff that maybe is a little unfamiliar to some of you guys, maybe a little bit new. And hopefully everyone's coming away with a little bit of something. That's our goal. That's something that I personally try to do everywhere I go with music, is introduce new stuff, because there's just so much in the genre that goes beyond what most of us think of when we think of jazz. And so today, that is our goal. We're going to introduce you guys to some new stuff. So we're going to begin today. It's always a great place to start for me personally, with some Duke Ellington. You can't really tell the story of jazz without talking about Duke Ellington, and so that's where we're gonna kick it off. This composition is called "I Let a Song Go Out of My Heart." It's got some beautiful lyrics. I recommend going to check out some singers playing it. Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan, two of my favorites. So, "I Let a Song Go Out of My Heart." One, two, two, three. Yeah. Duke Ellington's I Let a Song Go Out of My Heart. And really, go find the lyrics. Gorgeous. I love them. I love them. One more time. Keenan Zach on the bass. We got Michael Shapira on the drums. I always try to make sure that we get everybody's name said a lot of times, because as much as we know, jazz is a lot about improvising, right? It's about taking solos and, right, quote unquote solos. But none of that stuff really happens without, a rhythm section behind you. The only way you're playing solo is if you're truly playing alone by yourself. Other than that, you have collaborators. There's things that Michael will play that I hear and I play off of, or Keenan will hear something and he plays off of me, and so on. It's really at every point, regardless of whether it's a solo or not, we're listening. It's really a trio, and it's that's kind of improvising in its truest form, something that we like to talk about. We're going to continue now with an old standard, truly one of my favorites here. This one is called On the Sunny Side of the Street. On the Sunny Side of the Street. It's a happy one. On the sunny side of the street, sunny side. So we're going to continue now with another another jazz standard. This one is entitled "My Shining Hour." My Shining Hour. as My Shining Hour. Thank you very much. One more time, Michael Shapira on the drums, Keenan Paul Zach on the bass behind me. Thank you very much. We're going to continue now with something of a kind of a 2-for-1, we'll call it. And I'll preface all this by saying jazz musicians have always been, and will always be a bunch of thieves. Hey! A bunch of thieves. We steal from each other. We steal lines. You hear someone improvise something and you say, I want to take that, and it becomes yours. And the same has always been true of music. Now, the important thing to remember is that if you play someone else's piece, you have to pay for someone else's piece. But you cannot copyright the chords to a song. Those chords are good for anything. So basically, if there's a song out there, for example, let's say the great standard How High the Moon. Charlie Parker took all the chords to How High the Moon, threw away the melody, and wrote his own tune. And so that's what we're going to try to show for you today. We're going to show you, first we're going to play How High the Moon. We're going to do a little bit of improvising. And then we're going to end with a melody that Charlie Parker wrote over the same chords to How High the Moon. And that tune is called Ornithology. So please enjoy How High the Moon, Ornithology, 2-for-1. 1, 2. Charlie Parker in the end there. Thank you very much. So we spoke earlier about how you can't really tell the story of jazz without talking about Duke Ellington. And Duke Ellington is one of dozens of people that you really can't tell the story of jazz without. And unfortunately, we can't get to every single one of them today. But I do think it's very, very important to talk about John Coltrane if you're going to talk about the history of jazz. There are certain points where you can look around certain years and you can see that year, the records that came out, the music that was produced, it sort of changes the direction of everything. 1959 was a really big year for jazz in that way. And one of the big records that came out belonged to John Coltrane. And along with his 1959 releases, we're talking about an entire catalog of music that really changed everyone's perspective on how you could improvise, what you could do with improvisation, the balance between a soloist and a rhythm section. These are the kinds of things that the Coltrane Quartet took and really pushed to the limits, to the boundaries. And so I think it's appropriate to pay a little bit of homage to John Coltrane as well as Duke Ellington. We're going to play one of his compositions, Equinox. It's going to be Equinox. So that again was John Coltrane's tune Equinox. Equinox. We're going to continue now with a piece by a great trumpet player named Tom Harrell. And Tom Harrell, I think, is as widely known in the jazz world for his compositions as he is for his trumpet playing. As fabulous a trumpet player as his writing is for me, I mean, no pun intended, but it is off the charts. So, can I get a... Thank you. Appreciate that. And he does it without me asking, isn't that?
I do what I'm told.
That's right. So this tune is a composition by Tom Harrell, and this one's called Moon Alley. It's a beautiful bossa nova, Moon Alley. You just go between F and F minor for a second. That was Tom Harrell's Moon Alley. Moon Alley there. So, I think we are going to continue now. Oh yeah, this is a good one. So, a great tenor saxophone player coming out of Detroit, known worldwide. He's just from Detroit. We're talking about the great Joe Henderson. And Joe Henderson Another great innovator, someone who you can put right alongside Coltrane, someone who was a little before Coltrane. Coltrane looked up to Joe Henderson, and of course, then they became colleagues. Come the time when they were both full grown and producing music. This composition here is entitled Punjab, written by Joe Henderson. A really great tune. We hope you guys enjoy it. One, two. Love that song. I really, really do love that song. That was Punjab by Joe Henderson. Joe Henderson. We're going to continue now with a composition by the great trumpet player Woody Shaw. Woody Shaw was very, very active. We're talking about the 1970s and the 1980s now. One of the most innovative trumpet players that we have in jazz. If you are familiar with, we look at the lineage of we go very early, we can think of Clifford Brown, and then we can move to Miles Davis. And after that, I personally feel Woody Shaw comes next in that line of jazz trumpet royalty. And so this is a tune, a favorite of mine off of his record Rosewood, if you're so inclined to check it out. And this tune is called Every Time I See You. Every Time I See You. That was Woody Shaw's Every Time I See You. Every Time I See You. Now, to continue, I wanted to, like I said, we're trying to move somewhat chronologically, at least through some sort of eras. And so I thought it would be appropriate to continue with a composition by someone named Kenny Garrett, who was one of Woody Shaw's close collaborators towards the end of his career. There's a long-standing tradition in jazz, in music, of the older generation taking the younger generation sort of under their wing. You know, you can do that in school, but before there was jazz in school, it was just a matter of mentors, mentees. And so Woody Shaw heard a young saxophone player named Kenny Garrett, alto saxophone, decided to take him under his wing. And so if you check out Woody Shaw's later records, you're going to hear a lot of a young Kenny Garrett. This next composition was recorded and composed in the 90s, and this one is called Sing a Song of Song. It's by Kenny Garrett, a tune that I enjoy. I think it's really beautiful. I think it kind of just exudes joy, is sort of the point of the whole tune. And so we hope that we can convey that to you guys, a little bit of happiness here, and please enjoy Kenny Garrett's Sing a Song of Song. Sing a Song of Song. Listening again to Keenan Paul Zach on the bass and Michael Shapira on the drums. Thank you very, very much. So this is going to be our last tune for the concert. I just want to say a quick thank you. Thank you to the Sachem Library for having us and for allowing us to present this music today. Thank you to all of you for tuning in and listening. You're the guys that make it possible for us to do what we do, even in some tough times where it's hard to get out and listen to live music. Just know that we deeply appreciate you listening and being a part of the experience today. One more time, Michael Shapira on the drums, Keenan Paul Zach on the bass. My name is Gregory DeAngelis, trombone player. We're gonna close this out with a Dizzy Gillespie composition entitled "We." We.
2
Thank you all again for tuning in. Take care. Have a wonderful summer.
Whee!